Joe 200, what's up? Okay, it's Wednesday. Sorry for the delay on this lecture, but I had some stuff to do. I'm getting that cold that everybody has, man. Maybe it's because of the limited telomeres and unlimited ability for my cell division in terms of my immune system. Remember that from aging theory? All right, so we're the 26th today, Wednesday, okay? Um, so we had the rollout of this week's assignments on the 24th, okay? And let's just get to it, okay? First of all, just a reminder, if you guys need some extra credit, okay? Really just explain something about the quiz that you just did. Don't forget this extra credit right here, okay? Try and show for a couple hours. Do show up at lunchtime. That's the best time. That's next Friday. Don't forget you need to go to the registration link right here to get set up for that. Okay, so that was in the announcement section. So I'm going to really quickly go to student view here, right? Because it's not fair to show you what I'm seeing. I want to see what you guys are looking at. Okay, and we're going to wait for Blackboard to do its thing, and now we're in. Okay, so that was today's announcement. Okay, so we're going to start with two things here. So we're going to do with the course readings and quizzes. Okay, so we get in here today. This week, sorry, is diabetes. Okay, so we're going to do the big three right here in terms of biology and diseases, and cancer hits hard at home. Okay, affects all of us. And diabetes is a huge risk factor for cancer and for heart disease, okay? This thing simmers over a life course, and a big part of it is genetic predisposition, but you also have to understand a big part of it is lifestyle. Do you exercise? Do you maintain a moderate diet? Do you eat your veggies? Do you eat too many carbohydrates, okay? These are the factors. Are you obese? Okay, it's a huge risk factor for diabetes in terms of the big topic, which is insulin receptor insensitivity. Now, we understand that sometimes there will be issues with the links, and so this is the preferred way to study for this week. Okay, we do have all of the PDF files you see right here that are basically downloaded copies of the essential information found within this website. This is from the National Institute of Diabetes and Digestive and Kidney Diseases. So it's a fantastic website, and it's the best way to go about looking at things. What I want you guys to do is to familiarize yourself with the power of these websites, okay? Find out what is diabetes. Find out about complications, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to go right in here, okay? All right, so we see these are the topics, okay? And if you go back here, it's telling you what I want to do. So I want you to go through these topics, okay? And you can see that I've been already in there messing around, so you can see the hypertext links where I've been nosing around, okay? So you start with what is diabetes, okay? All righty, and so it talks about type 1. This is an autoimmune juvenile diabetes. Type 2, this is adult onset diabetes, due for the most part to an insensitivity of your insulin receptors linked to diet and obesity, okay? Down the line, you will be taking insulin injections because what happens is you get fatigue within your pancreas and it no longer can do what it needs to do. Gestational diabetes is a description of what happens in some women during pregnancy. Okay, and then you just go through here and you look around and understand what's going on. This takes you to different sections right here of the hyperlink text that I was talking about. It's important to understand that diabetes is part of what's called the metabolic syndrome. It's part of our obesity epidemic, okay, in quote unquote privileged industrialized countries where there's the unfortunate outcome of unlimited access to nutrition, okay? And yeah, it's a lifestyle thing. Stress contributes to it as well. Stress elevates blood sugar. Okay, so what happens, we're gonna go right here, go back on here. we see that we have the hemoglobin A1c test. What happens is you no longer are sensitive to the insulin, and this goes over the A1c test. And what the A1c test is it's a window into looking at the chronic elevation of your blood glucose. Okay, and what happens is when you don't get the glucose out of your bloodstream, okay, because you're releasing insulin and it's not working on the receptors anymore, the glucose stays really, really high, and it candy coats every single protein in your bloodstream. Okay, and that causes a cascade of problems that put you at risk for getting atherosclerosis, okay, because it triggers inflammation. It also triggers cancer, okay, by activating through these same receptors that recognize the candy-coated substance, okay? So that's why it's important to look at your A1C, okay? We can also do a glucose tolerance test. We can do a fasting glucose test, but that's the best measure. That's what A1C is all about. Insulin resistance. Again, this happens in type 2 diabetes where you release the insulin, but your cells can no longer recognize it because the receptors are messed up, okay, because of you being obese, and the whole process of obesity causes fat cells to release things that make it so your muscles no longer recognize the insulin, and so you can't package up the glucose. So a big part of this also, since you're not packaging up the glucose, is you're tired all the time because you're not getting the energy, okay, in your muscles, in your brain. Also, because you have so much glucose in your blood, you end up having to pee all the time, okay? So these are all consequences. This is what you can learn as you go through this. If your vasculature gets all screwed up, okay, because of your diabetes, okay, because like I said, it's inflammatory, then it starts causing nerve damage, and you start having consequences of that. We start having to have limb removal, okay? They'll have to surgically remove toes, surgically remove feet, legs, things like that. You get diabetic retinopathy, all these different things. You're going to learn about this, okay? I want you to hunt around and take a look at this, okay? That's what that's all about, okay? We developed the questions from there. This talks about this type 2 diabetes, how it happens. So please watch this video. It's going to explain to you how it happens.
Understanding type 2 diabetes.
Okay?
Type 2 diabetes.
All right, after you get done with that, then this gives you kind of a readout what happens when your vasculature gets compromised. It's inflammatory, it doesn't work anymore, and then every part of the blood vessel system that's impacted by diabetes gets diseased. And so you get kidney disease, diabetic retinopathy, heart disease, stroke, all these complications, okay? Then you'll be ready to take the quiz. All right, so link to this then is our discussions, okay? So I'm going to come up over here and look at discussion right here, okay? And this week then, again, kind of going back and trying to keep in theme with this concept of lifestyle and maintaining your body weight and where you'll be at. We want you to kind of play around with this and look at this concept of your body mass index, okay? So you go to all these links and you just figure out where you stand. Now, that being said, okay, an older individual that has lost lean body mass and is obese is going to have a much poorer outcome in terms of these. They're called actuary tables. Insurance companies use this kind of stuff to determine what the expense or the cost of your monthly policy is, okay? So we've put a bunch of them up here. Just play around with it, okay? This takes you right here to your body mass index calculator. You can just go in here and you go ahead and put your data in and see how you rank. If you're an athlete, muscle is heavy, okay? So this is the problem with this. These are simple things, okay? We can come down here and look at other calculators, okay? These calculators are so fun to play with, okay? Just go in there, and again, don't forget that Here's your life expectancy, but how about earnings test calculator, okay, for you business majors? Look at these things that you can play with and maybe use in another class, okay? All righty. We have some that are put forth here by private companies, okay? All right, so this is kind of a cool one too. Now it's a little slower, okay? All right, there it is. You enter your information from the Wall Street Journal, and you're gonna find out how you live, okay? You get to rate your physique, okay? It's really fun to play with. Play with this and let us know how you stand, okay? And that's what you do in the discussion. All right. So you guys have done really well on the first critical thinking assignment. Start thinking about who you want to interview for your interview paper at the end of this class, okay? It's very personal, all right? So you're going to find somebody like me, 62. Find somebody older than me, okay? But either way, you got to start thinking about this concept, okay? All right, so I'm going to leave it there, and hopefully we'll see you later.